Good morning and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And everybody says, oh, it's a war on Christmas. Well, it's plural for many people celebrate many different holidays this time of year. So, good English is where I look at it. But the big thing is I want to talk to you about is working at an emergency clinic and over the years helping animals all my life, but last 30 something years, with the vet clinic I built and all that. I'm not bragging, speaking from the mountain, just, I've seen stuff. But it was really enlightening when I came here almost 20 years ago to North Carolina and started working in an emergency clinic, even though we had them. And my van was the after hours emergency ambulance for the city of Desert Hot Springs. And I'd take them to the emergency clinic over there in Thousand Palms, Rick and everybody, and Dr. Dell, great people, met a lot of good people, but the city would call me and I'd go pick up an animal that was in distress and take it over to Thousand Palms and got the city to pay $200, to have the animals assessed. And if we could save it, I would take it in to Save a Pet and either find it a home or, if we could get it treated for more than the Dixie Fund, named after my mom, would cover that cost, anything on and above $200, and we'd absorb the animal and then try and find it a home after it was spayed, neutered, microchipped, etc. But the reason why I'm calling you, when I came here, that was like a side thing that I did for the city. I wasn't paid or anything. It was what I did through, through our nonprofit there at Save a Pet with Mary Sidness and all that. But anyways, what I'm going to say is this. When I came here, around this time, there was a big majority of animals that would, get into the turkey, get into this, get into that, get into the chocolate. Now, this morning on an AA meeting, a friend of mine, she said that her dog had eaten some chocolates, and the theobromine in the chocolate, the darker the chocolate, the more toxic it is, like when you get up to like dark cocoa or whatever. But anyways, there's a chart there. You can go to the SPCA or just Google chocolate toxicity in dogs. Like a dog's weight, 5 pounds. Let's go with 10 pounds because that's like, cut everything in half around, say a dog 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds. You can look at your vet records. But for a 10-pound dog, milk chocolate in ounces is 8 ounces. And for a 10-pound dog, chocolate chips is 3 ounces. Unsweetened chocolate is 1.5. And theobromine is 400. So it increases, but the chocolate chips are, that's the toxicity for the dogs, where it starts getting sick and everything. And, at the emergency clinic, when we get animals, before the emergency clinic, I would get animals to use hydrogen peroxide, but then they said that, that caused ulcers. To get them to vomit, so we would give them injections of apomorphine, and the dog would yak it up, and here comes the chocolate. So, in the emergency clinic all night, every once in a while, we'd smell like C's candy or heart. They'll eat it, and they'll look at you eating it, and it'll be the greatest thing to eat. And who doesn't like chocolate? But it will really mess up a dog. Also raisins, and you can go to the SPCA. Or Humane Society and Google these charts yourself. Thing of it is, keep your chocolates, up and away. I remember one time a dog was sick and the teenage boys hid their marijuana under the bed. And oh my God, the whole emergency clinic smelled like a Cheech and Chong movie. The mom didn't know that, and they're all standing out there, and of course I had to go talk to them, and look at the mom. Said, well, your dog got into some marijuana, and so we gave him some apomorphine and everything. If anybody does anything like that, please put it up higher. And you should have seen those kids; they were all like, totally busted. Anyways, teenagers, what are you going to do? But chocolate, you can go to the ASPCA or the Humane Society of the United States or any SPCA and get a chart like this. And but just please, you don't want to pay emergency hours, emergency money, Friday, Saturday. Um, Seriously, Christmas time, Thanksgiving, holidays, they're packed. The emergency clinics are packed, and animals are just pouring out into the aisles and setting up temporary cages. It's on. So keep the chocolate up high. If your dog gets into one or something, you don't need to rush, but you can look at your charts, look at the candies, all have weights on them. And if they get like one chocolate chip cookie, before we knew that, Granny would tuck in, my brother's dog Beth with a chocolate chip cookie, make a bed for it after Grandpa died. She'd get up there, give her a cookie, and tuck Beth in, and nothing, but it's when they start really eating on the chocolate and the dark chocolate that you really got to worry. The darker, the more toxic. Anyways, love for all. Keep your animals